Hey everybody, this is Dr. Joe Field Family Chiropractic and the podcast Abundant Health Naturally. Today, I want to talk to you about a subject that we've all experienced in our life, cancer, and 14 ways that we can help prevent cancer in our bodies. So stay tuned. All right, so we want to talk about today 14 ways that we can help prevent cancer in our bodies. But first, I want to go over some statistics in regards to cancer in women and in men in our lifetime. So first, ladies first, let's talk about some statistics from the American Cancer Society 2026 statistics. According to them, an estimated 1 in 3 women in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. 1 in 3, or a 38.7% chance. So, the common cancers in women, the top 3, account for 51% of all new diagnoses of cancer in women are breast, lung, and colorectal. Breast cancer being a 321,910 new cases. And number 2, lung cancer, high risk, especially due to smoking. We'll talk about that in a moment. And colorectal cancer is increasing incidence in younger adults. And that goes to some of the things we'll be talking about in the 14 ways that we can prevent cancer in our bodies. Women, we're moving you aside here, and let's talk about men. According to recent data in the American Society of Cancer and the National Cancer Institute, approximately 1 in 2 to 1 in 3 men in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer, some form of cancer, in their lifetime. Folks, I don't know why that these numbers are so much higher, but the lifetime risk of probability of being diagnosed with cancer, invasive cancer, is roughly 39.2% of men, or for men. So the most common cancer in men is prostate cancer, followed by lung, and thirdly, colorectal cancer. It's sad that over the nearly 30 years of my practice life, we have seen this occur in our practice members, our family members, and even friends that we come in contact on a daily basis. So cancer's around, and we've been fighting the fight on cancer for years, and we've come close to having a cure for cancer and many different opportunities, but also it just seems like it's out of our reach in many different ways. But if we really sit down and think about it, there are genetics involved, there's lifestyle factors involved, there's choices that occur in our life emotionally, physically, chemically, emotionally, that can spur the environment within our body to open up the door, per se, for these things to occur. We don't want to live in fear. We don't want to live in fear, but we want to help you have an understanding of there's things that we can do. And it's not about performance. It's just about, hey, listen, if we make small, tiny changes, 1% a day, we'll see that likelihood of these things occur less frequently and less often if we all work together. Okay. So let's go over the 14 ways that we can prevent cancer in our bodies. So, number 1, food supply and eating habits. Consuming a plant-based diet rich in fruits and vegetables, minimizing starchy foods. So what do I mean by starchy foods? Your pasta, your bread, okay? We want to have vegetables that are fibrous and roughage getting in their diet, per se, okay? And next thing that we really could help people with is our body weight. Number 2, body weight. We want to avoid being underweight and overweight. And we really want to limit adult weight gain. Folks, as we get older, hormones, stress, thyroid, all those areas have a connection on really affecting how easy or how hard it is for us to keep and maintain a healthy weight. And then also our consumption of sugary foods and that imbalance of our insulin and the prevalence of type 2 diabetes, and also the prevalence of fatty liver issues. So we need to take a stronger look at what we can do to make a difference in our bodies. Our bodies are self-healing and self-replicating organisms, but we have a part to play. We have to take personal responsibility for what we eat and what we do to our bodies. It's like sowing seeds. You sow today, you're not going to reap that harvest tomorrow. It takes time to reap the harvest. Okay? Number 3, physical activity. So let's look at it this way: performing moderate exercise, and sometimes exercise vigorously for at least 1 hour a week. Folks, we just want you to get out and move. We need to get off our tuchus, okay, and get moving. Motion is life. If we don't move, things are going to get rusty. But we're here at Buffalo Family Chiropractic to remove those interferences and allow you to heal better so that you can move better, okay? Small things will make a big difference. So going for walks. I go for a 3.5, 4 mile walk 3 times a week. A lot of times I love to cycle. I love to go for a long bike ride. In the past, I would run. Most people are either running from something or running to something. So you choose. Number 4, vegetable and fruit intake. We need to eat 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables per day. So I don't know how many people are actually eating and consuming fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. But I have seen diet diaries on our practice members who are doing nutritional work with us. And I'll tell you, there's quite a few that don't have as much as they should. And thus I see a lot more starchiness: bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, candies, cookies, cakes, pastries. It's time to, again, using this term, personal responsibility, and do something different. It's not too late to turn and go a different direction. Number 5, consumption of other plant foods. Eat 7 or more daily portions of a variety of cereals, roots, tubers, plantains, etc. Nuts. Minimize the intake of processed foods and refined sugars. Folks, when we go to the grocery store, our best bet is grabbing that cart as soon as you walk in and do the perimeter of the store. Your produce, your vegetables, your meats, your dairy, and that's it. Go check out. You're going up and down the aisles. In some stores, we call that the aisle of shame. You go up and down the aisle of shame, you're getting nothing but processed foods, refined foods that may have a quick source of energy, but in the long run, you're being well preserved. Number 6, alcohol consumption. Alcohol intake is discouraged, and we hope that you could find a way to limit the amount of alcohol that you consume to less than 1 drink per day. So maybe none at all, or just 1 drink a day. I, at one point in time, got a case of beer for a Super Bowl party, and not even a year later, I only had a 6-pack left. That's how infrequent beer is consumed or alcohol is consumed in our household. It's just not something that is part of our everyday occurrence. Number 7, meat consumption. Eating meat is not bad. It's a matter of your sources of meat and how much you consume. Red meat, venison, bison, but then also we have chicken, fish, turkey. There are many different sources. Looking at your portion sizes as well, anywhere from 3 to 6 ounces per meal. We want to make sure that we're getting enough protein for our body size and type in order to keep a healthy, ideal body weight. Number 8, total fats and oils. Limit the consumption of fatty acids and fatty foods. Use moderate amounts of appropriate vegetable oils when necessary. Folks, I want you to think about this word here, seed oils. Seed oils are really not the greatest for our bodies. So let's think of quicker, easier, broken down fats. Coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil. And also, butter is not bad for you. Butter makes everything better. 9, salt and salty foods. Limit the consumption of salted foods and use cooking table salt. Limit really as much as possible. But also, there's an alternative. We could use herbs and spices. Hey, spice is the variety of life, all right? So there are many other things out there that we can use in our spice cabinets to kind of perk things up and give it more savory tasting instead of dousing with salt. Number 10, food storage. Don't eat food subject to contamination due to long storage or ambient temperatures. So if you've had that food that you made 2 weeks ago still sitting in the fridge, you might want to think about throwing that out. And if it's been in a moderately warm temperature and it's not been covered, we may want to look at things a little bit differently. 11, food preservation methods. Preserving perishable food appropriately via refrigeration, freezing, canning. Your storage methods are important to the longevity of that food that you cooked and you didn't eat it all. So we want to save it for later, that leftover. But folks, we have to be careful. The shelf life of that and doing it appropriately. Too long of a canning jar sitting on your shelf may not be the most right thing to eat. So make sure we label things and rotate accordingly. Number 12, additives and residues. Minimize the levels of additives that you put in your foods and the contaminants and other residues of food sources. Ideally, the most important thing that I want you to take home from number 12 is read the labels. If you can't read the ingredients, or if it's too long of a list, you went shopping down the aisle of shame, which is all the preservatives and refined foods, and thus it's not going to do you good in the long run. Number 13, food preparation. Consuming grilled and broiled meat, fish, occasionally, okay? And avoiding burning the meat juices and charring. Now, I'm not saying never grill your foods, never broil your foods, but we need to be careful and mindful on how we cook them, how they're prepared, because we're setting ourselves up for trouble if all we eat is really supercharred. As an example, really supercharred hot dog that's black on the outside. And if we eat that every day or once a week or something like that, your chances, your risk factors go up. So we want to make sure that we're making better choices, okay? Again, our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made, and it's a self-healing, self-replicating organism, but we have to give it the environment to thrive, to flourish. Number 14, lastly, dietary supplements. Supplementation is probably unnecessary if, now, I may be hurting myself by saying this, supplementation may be unnecessary, but there's a big capital I, capital F, if appropriate dietary strategies are followed. Unfortunately, our soil, the topsoil, goes only 6 to 8 inches deep, where it used to be 18 or deeper of the rich nutrients. So the vegetables and the fruit and all that we're growing was so rich in the minerals and the different things that we needed for our bodies. Unfortunately, it's not like that today. And we eat a lot more processed foods and refined foods and fast foods. I want it now. So I ask you, as a doctor of chiropractic who sits down and looks at diet diaries and counsels people on how to choose the right foods and what supplements and nutritional supplements, foods that they need to take. We had a young lady come to us for a period of time taking supplements that was a long list. And she said, I don't really I can't afford to take all these things. And I had no problem with her stopping. It's her choice. But I said, you need this because of the choices you're making of eating certain fast foods on a daily basis. If we don't make changes, if nothing changes, nothing's changing. We need to do an about face and go in a different direction and do something differently so that we can see the changes in our body. Sometimes we need a Control-Alt-Delete on our computer to change the screen and do something different. So other than these 14 proven ways to help prevent cancer within our bodies, there's another factor that is really big. So we could add it as number 15, and that is avoiding smoking and tobacco products. So smoking or chewing tobacco in the mouth. Studies have been shown it's really not the greatest thing for you in the long run. And sad to say, medical professionals years ago would promote this for people because they were getting paid by the tobacco people. Quite honestly, just like drugs are running the risk of killing people today because of the different drugs that we're on and not making a informed decision on our bodies and letting someone else decide for us. So I just want you to know we're here to come alongside you here at Buffield Family Chiropractic to help coach you, to help inspire you, to connect with you so that you may experience abundant health naturally. You guys have a great day. Contact us at www